you last.
Okay, so Theodore Jebediah Cruz is the world's #1 cuck. Not only did the world's #1 cuck get absolutely fucking cucked by Donald Trump, where he went and supported a guy who literally said his wife looked like a dog and all this other stuff. Trigger warning, Ted Cruz, for the record. Yes, your trigger warning has been issued. Ted Cruz is about to appear on screen in a brief moment, okay? Violent vomiting might ensue. Just letting you know, if you start throwing up, it's probably not COVID. It's probably because you just saw Ted Cruz. But basically, Ted Cruz, as we know, is a cuck, okay? But this is next level. Ted Cruz foolishly had the audacity to call the January 6th insurrectionists terrorists, which is a bit of a lip moment. Let's take a look at how he will atone for said sins.
Last night, we were surprised by it. We prefaced it by saying every conservative appreciates Ted Cruz because he's one of the smartest and most articulate people in the Congress, and he's conservative. But he referred publicly to what happened on January 6th as, quote, a violent terror attack. Here it is.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage, incredible bravery, risk their lives to defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol.
Senator Cruz was game enough to come on tonight. We appreciate that. He joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for coming on.
Bro, how he immediately went to Twitter, like conservatives did the Twitter do your thing, okay? And started ripping. And I mean, absolutely ripping into my dude, Theodore, okay? Stop throwing up. Stop throwing up. You need to listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay? I know it's hard to look. I know it's hard to fucking look at Ted Cruz's horrible face, okay? I know. But we live in a country where Ted Cruz can't even fucking say, like the senator had the audacity to say January 6th was like a solemn anniversary where fucking, people killed cops, like literally. And that's bad. As a Republican, you can't even say that, okay? You can't. They will fucking rip you to shreds. So, of course, he immediately had to back away from that and be like, no, I love these Patriots. Theodore Jebediah Cruz. I'm a big fan of the Patriots. It was actually awesome that they were beating the shit out of cops and, stealing Nancy Pelosi's gavel. It was fucking dope. It was poggers. I'm so sorry. Please stop sending me death threats.
So I guess there are a lot of dumb people in the Congress. You're not one of them. I think you're smarter than I am. And you never use words carelessly. And yet you called this a terror attack.
Didn't you say that? Wait, someone asked me? Yeah, I'm not Ted Cruz. I don't give a fuck. I do think that January 6th was bullshit. And, it's still incredibly fucked up that it happened. And conservatives are delusional, violent animals that have no control over their bodily fucking functions. That much is true, okay? But what I'm simply stating is, yeah, I don't personally give a shit, okay? Didn't you say before that Republican politicians fucking fear their base? They do. It's not his face. I can see his morals. Ew. How are Second Amendment lovers cop lovers too? Cognitive dissonance, my friend. Cognitive fucking dissonance. Okay? All right, let's keep going.
When by no definition was it a terror attack. That's a lie. You told that lie on purpose, and I'm wondering why you did.
Damn, dude. He's whipping them, dude. I hate Ted Cruz for being from Alberta. Sorry, all. No, that's understandable.
Well, Tucker, thank you for having me on. When you aired your episode last night, I sent you a text shortly thereafter and said, listen, I'd like to go on because the way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb. And
I don't buy that. Whoa. I don't buy that. Look, I've known you a long time, since before you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, that's a fucking talk show host. That is a senator. Oh my, I gotta run that back. This is awesome, dude. I love hog infighting, by the way, but God damn, dude, what is happening? Woo!
On because the way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb. And
I don't buy that. Whoa. I don't buy that. Look, I've known you a long time, since before you went to the Senate. You were a Supreme Court contender. You take words as seriously as any man who's ever served in the Senate. And every word you repeated that phrase. I do not believe that you used that accidentally. I just don't.
So, Tucker, as a result of my sloppy phrasing, it's caused a lot of people to misunderstand what I meant. Let me tell you what I meant to say. What I was referring to are the limited number of people who engaged in violent attacks against police officers. Now, I think you and I both agree that if you assault a police officer...
Tucker is right. Ted used this phrase before. Senator Ted Cruz claimed on Fox last night he had a sloppy phrasing moment when he said that this week there was a terrorist attack at the Capitol, but Cruz also had called a terrorist attack an official written statement spanning months. January 7th, February 13th, and May 28th. Here's a Cruz spokesperson in mid-January 2021 after footage emerged of a rioter saying he thought Cruz would approve their actions, as Senator Cruz has repeatedly said the terrorist attack on the Capitol was reprehensible. So no, that is what his opinion was, which is understandable. It's understandable to have that opinion, especially if you're a fucking politician. Politicians like in the Democratic Party, politicians in the Republican Party, even in when it first popped off, were saying this was an attack. This was an attack on their livelihoods. This was an attack on their well-being. And they considered this to be a fucking reprehensible attack. I personally think that, you know, it was more laughable than it was like damaging. And I personally do not give a shit about the actual fucking sacred hallowed halls of Congress. But I do give a shit about what this was a symptom of, okay? This was a symptom of a complete fucking systemic failure. This was a symptom of a multitude of very significant problems. I care about solving those problems so that this doesn't happen again. I don't give a shit about fucking Ted Cruz being in his fucking fifis or whatever the fuck. Okay? But if they found a Democratic congressperson like AOC, they would have killed him 100%, dude. Most likely. I can see that. That's why I said, like, I understand why AOC was like, I'm in fucking fear of my safety and my life. Understandably. You know who else I think they may have killed? Mike Pence. Ted Cruz, though. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at what Ted Cruz has to say. He's probably going to say, listen, at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break.
Managers call Representative Herrera Butler. I think it is very likely that President Trump's lawyers will call Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is clearly a relevant witness to this matter. Speaker Pelosi can testify as to when she knew about the threats on the Capitol, what she knew specifically, and in particular, she can testify. We heard already that the House Sergeant at Arms turned down National Guard protection for the Capitol
Crimson
on
Cracker
January
one.
6th because of, quote, the optics. And I think Speaker Pelosi can testify as to whether she made a decision based on optics, based on politics, not to have additional protection at the Capitol to prevent the terrorist attack that played out.
Oopsie. So, of course he said that. Like, I mean, they're politicians. They think that this is fucking terror. Like, the comparisons to 9/11 or the comparisons to fucking Pearl Harbor is psychotic, okay? It's psychotic. Let's be fucking real, okay? Some people have said this is more damaging to American democracy. This is the most damaging thing that's happened to American democracy since, like, the Civil War. That's also insane. Like, there's just so many insane fucking takes overall, okay? Thank you, Maximus51113. And thank you, Crimson Cracker 1 for the gift of subs. Let's continue.
Officer, you should go to jail. That's who I was talking about. And the reason the phrasing was sloppy is I have talked dozens, if not hundreds of times. I've drawn a distinction. I wasn't saying that the thousands of peaceful protesters supporting Donald Trump are somehow terrorists. I wasn't saying the millions of patriots across the country supporting President Trump are terrorists. And that's what...
Bro, he's literally like, he's about to cry, dude. This is psychotic. What is happening in this country, dude? We are the dumbest country on the planet. I swear to God. This is it. Like every day I wake up, I click going live, and I watch shit on twitch.tv/HasanAbi, and I say to myself, it can't get stupider than this. And boy, am I wrong all the time. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, it can't be dumber than yesterday. I mean, we're seeing so much idiocy. Like, come on, this is it. And then it's like, no, then you see a fucking insane, completely cuckolded right-wing senator cry on fucking television to a TV talk show host because he said something about how, like, the homies that did an insurrection, okay, were terrorists. At the most, what you're supposed to say in that situation is, I don't know, man, I feel like you're exaggerating a little bit. You know what I mean? That's it. Not like this you will atone for your sins attitude that every single person fucking is now approaching Ted Cruz with.
A lot of people have misunderstood that comment.
Wait a second, but wait, but hold on. What you just said doesn't make sense. So if somebody assaults a cop, he should be charged and go to jail. I couldn't agree more. We've said that for years. But that person's still not a terrorist. How many people have been charged with...
By the way, some people in the neoliberal side of the internet misunderstood what I was talking about. Where they were like, Hasan is going to cause people to fucking die because he wants people to fight cops. No, I'm not saying go out and resist arrest, you fucking weirdos. I'm simply stating that it would be more effective if cops did not actually fucking arm themselves, and in a riot type situation that the playing field was equalized, as is what a civilized society should do. Okay? Let's keep going.
Terrorism on January 6th. Like, why'd you use that word? You're playing into the other side's characterization that, as Joe Kent just explained, allows them to define an entire population as foreign combatants. And you know that. So why'd you do it?
So Tucker, let me answer you. The reason I use that word, for a decade, I have referred to people who violently assault police officers as terrorists. I've done so over and over and over again. If you look at all the assaults we've seen across the country, I've called that terrorism over and over again. That being said, Tucker, I agree with you. It was a mistake to say that yesterday, and the reason is what you just said, which is we've now had a year of Democrats in the media twisting words and trying to say that all of us are terrorists, trying to say you're a terrorist, I'm a terrorist. And so, look, I don't like people who assault cops, and I stand up and defend cops. And the reason I use that word is that's the word I've always used for people that violently attack cops. But in this context, I get why people were angry.
Oh. Damn, bro. Dude, conservatives are crazy. They're just like, yeah, you can just like, yeah, actually, you know, we're pro-cop except for when cops are like, don't come into the Capitol. Yo! This is the guy that liked porn on 9/11, for the record. This is awesome, dude. This is great. This is fucking dope.
Because we've had a year of the corrupt corporate media and Democrats claiming anyone who objected to the election fraud. And by the way, remember what was happening during those protests?
Can I just ask, hold on, you work in the... I guess I just don't believe you. And I mean...
Bumpy Waters, thank you for the 5, get the subs. Dude, why did Ted Cruz allow this fucking whipping to occur? What a cuck, dude. He is so pathetic. Oh my God. This is an incredible amount of, I mean, it looks like it's a staged pushback, but this is like ridiculous that he has to fucking sit there and suck it up. This is an opportunity for Tucker Carlson to look like he is, you know, defending the brave patriots on January 6th once again, okay, to his audience and the shit that they did once again. And Ted Cruz is just letting him do this.
I mean that with respect, because I have such respect for your acuity and your precision. And I've seen it on display. I've covered you as a reporter. I know how you speak. And you have sat there for a year and watched people use language to distort the events of that day. Intentionally. Insurrection. Coup.
Of course it
terrorism.
wasn't an insurrection. Saying it's an insurrection is a political term. It's a lie. I've repeatedly denounced it. And when it comes to, look, I was...
And you Dumpy Waters and Tucker Carlson's Bills, Nick? What?
Focusing on what I normally say. What you aired was a little 15-second snippet. What I normally say is violence is wrong, peaceful protest is right. If you engage in violence, you should be prosecuted. If you're speaking, you have a right to speak. I say that all the time.
Well, I meant, and I agree.
In that snippet.
So who's Ray Epps, by the way, since you are a senator? Like, he and this other guy are clearly encouraging the crowd to commit crimes. Neither one has been arrested or charged. What is that, do you think?
So I think that is a very good question. I don't know who Ray Epps is. I've seen that video multiple times. It's
Thank you, Bill Vogue, Shook as well.
Right?
disturbing. He's clearly urging the crowd to violate the law. When you see the crowd start chanting, Fed, 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 for him to appear on the FBI's most wanted list and come off, it certainly suggests he was working for the FBI. That's not conclusive, but that's the obvious implication. And the Attorney General and the Department of Justice won't answer the question. Tucker, I can tell you, I joined with a number of other senators trying to get the Biden DOJ to answer the question why so many January 6 prisoners are in solitary confinement, why they're being treated so much worse than the Antifa rioters and the people who committed firebombing and a year of riots across the country. And this Biden DOJ won't go after them. But let me also make a quick point, Tucker. Remember, while thousands of people were standing up to defend this country on January 6th, at that exact moment, I was standing on the Senate floor objecting to the election results, demanding that we impanel an election commission to consider evidence of voter fraud. And I brought together 11 senators to join.
Bro, he's just like on his hands and knees begging, crying. Like, please, I promise. No, it was the FBI that did it. It was Antifa. Antifa never got punished. FBI is the reason why all those people went in and, like, you know, stole Nancy Pelosi's gavel and shit. And FBI is the reason. It's totally not anything that we said or anything that we did. It's like, do I think that there was fucking agents in that crowd? Probably. Okay. Maybe some in support of the protest because they're hogs, and maybe some because they were, you know, monitoring the situation. Okay. If you personally think at this stage that, like, a lot of these 3%ers, Oath Keepers, and white supremacist, white nationalist militias are not heavily fucking are not heavily polluted by the three-letter agencies, you're delusional. But also, you kind of do deserve to go to jail for that. I'm gonna be honest with you. The fuck are you doing? Like, what's up, dude? You couldn't fucking play like Warhammer 40K with the boys or something? Like, you couldn't just like get together, you know, slam a couple beers, maybe shoot a gun off into the fucking into the distance in the forest away from everybody else? You couldn't go mudding with the boys? You had to join a fucking white nationalist militia? Like, you kind of do deserve, because you're so fucking stupid, you kind of do deserve to go to jail for like a little bit. What the fuck? You know, figure it out, dumbass.
It was a mistake to use the word yesterday because the Democrats and the corporate media have so politicized it. They're trying to paint everyone as a terrorist, and it's a...
I love how assaulting a cop equals not terrorism is the hill pro-cop Tucker is willing to die on. That's not a hill. That's not a hill. Conservatives do not concern themselves with a fucking community of annoying woke scolds, okay? There is no one in the conservative infrastructure that's going to turn around and tell Tucker Carlson that he's wrong for saying this, okay? Are you insane? It is exactly the diametric opposite of how it works as a leftist, okay? Even though I've never had a bad take and I only have good takes, there's motherfuckers in here trying to clip shit and like make it seem like I'm against the position that I am for. Like, that's how much the left loves infighting, or even those who consider themselves to be leftists, even though they're not, and they're fucking reactionary pieces of shit.
Lie.
Exactly.
And by the way, I've spoken out vocally against your exchange you just had. They want to paint us as Nazis. Yes,
I know, it's scary.
That is what they're trying to do. And look, I'm the one leading the fight in the Senate against this garbage. And it's what I have been doing, and it's what I'll continue doing.
Well, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you very much, Senator Ted Cruz.
Homie's about to cry, dude. That was awesome, though. This was kind of funny watching Ted Cruz like lose his shit.